child who's like, you know, around like the defiant age, like 8 years old maybe, like they're not listening to you, but it's not like a severe they're not listening to, it's just like it's a child not listening to you because they want their own way kind of a thing. And so that's normal, whatever. And then the same child is diagnosed with ODD, oppositional defiant disorder, by a doctor, and then he's put on medication. Things improve, great. This same child is now like 13 or 14, has trouble focusing in school, and is diagnosed with ADD, medicated for it. Then, at age 16, becomes less interested in school and anything really, is diagnosed with a mild depression, severe enough though to be medicated. So by the age of 16, this child is already on 3 medications, assuming that none of his disorders have been like cleared up. And so basically what I wanted to just address is that I think that children are over-medicated nowadays, in the sense that instead of changing a child's environment or changing the way they're like what they're exposed to, they just think, oh, this child is not normal, they're not operating in a normal manner, we should just put them on medication. Now, I know that there are, in my opinion, there are 3 types of people. There's those people who don't have an issue at all. Like, let's talk ADD. So someone who has no ADD symptoms is not, like, doesn't have an attention deficit disorder at all. Then there's the severe cases where just medication is like the only option. It's absolutely necessary. But then there's those midline kids who have symptoms of ADD, but they're not necessarily as severe as these kids over here. But more times than not, instead of, like I said, changing their environment or changing what they're exposed to, they're just medicated. Oh, medication is just the answer. So in the Huffington Post, there's this article, ADD is overdiagnosed and overtreated. And there's a quote, rates of ADD in children have tripled in the past 15 years, the diagnosed. And I think that is because parents want like this answer, they want this diagnosis for their children if they're not completely 100% normal. And after new drugs were introduced in the 1990s, the diagnosis also skyrocketed. And then this article from Child Obesity News, are kids overdiagnosed and over-medicated into obesity? A lot of medications out there now also they put on weight, they help, and so I think that also this over-medication is a factor in the obesity of kids in America, because a lot of these medications, especially on multiple of them, cause this obesity. And kids treated for bipolar disorder, they tend towards obesity and diabetes because of all these medications that they're on. Now, just like kind of this personal side note, my sister, she was diagnosed with this rare syndrome at birth. It's a genetic syndrome, it's 2 recessive genes that my parents had to have, and they had to both have this recessive genes, and they had to come out in to have it. Only 150 people have been diagnosed with this in since its inception in the 1800s or something, and my sister is I don't know, 1 in 49, I don't know, rare, it's rare. And she's got a lot of physical deformities. She has heart issues, lung issues, stomach issues. She's legally blind in one eye, blind in the other. She's got a hearing aid because she's got very, very, very fragile bones in her ear. She's had multiple surgeries for it. Don't mean to sound morbid. I'm just trying to say she's on a lot of medications, and she's fine. She's totally fine. But she also has, because of the way she was raised in the hospital a lot and how her days are very regimented, she's developed OCD. And the doctors talk to my mom about putting her on this medication because sometimes her OCD can get out of hand. She can't, for example, she hates odd numbers. If it's 30, if it's 303 and she has to get a medication at 307 because there's 4 minutes in between or something like that, she'll be no, it has to be 306 or 308. I can't. Like I can't go at 3:07. And my mom and the doctor discussed how many medications she was on and how she couldn't go on another medication because she's got like 26 medications already, and how she's not severe enough for it to be absolutely necessary. So basically, my conclusion is that there's a severe, like, in my opinion, like it's kind of an epidemic of this over-medication of children, of these midline kids. Like I said, there's the severe kids who medication really answer, and then there's kids who don't have anything at all. But the kids that are in the middle, they're more likely to be diagnosed and medicated than just to like change their lifestyle or change what they're exposed to and just kind of help them out without medicating them. And that is it.
Did you do any research, like if it's more prevalent in private or public schools? Did you look into
No, I didn't see any of that, but I saw something, I don't remember what the article was, but I saw something about how if like the parent's income like is higher, then they're more likely to be like, oh, let's just take them to the doctor, we'll put them on medication if they're not. I forgot what, I didn't write it down, but I found that. I didn't see anything about schooling though.
Okay.
So when I was in grade school, when I didn't pay attention, I just got my butt whooped. so now it seems like if a child doesn't pay attention, oh, we have to take it to the doctor. We have to see if he has ADD or whatever.
Yeah.
So my question is, why do you think that our mentality has gone from discipline for this to medicine for this?
I think because medicine in a lot of people's minds these days is just like a quick fix. Especially since there's so many drugs, like I said, since like the 1990s, like ADD drugs had like skyrocketed, like new drug, and then diagnosis went up. Oh, there's this new drug, my kid can get fixed. Like it's like about, like there's something wrong with them mentally. They're not just being a defiant kid, like just like not listening. Like so I think that it's because they think that these medications are just a quick fix.
Any more questions? Okay.
Yeah,
Last one, be careful. Still, guys.
Do you think that's part of, especially with ADD, and like do you think with especially ADD and like overdiagnosis of adolescents, do you think that's kind of indicative of the social media, internet generation that these kids are growing up in? Do you think that has something to do with it?
I think so, especially because there's like a lot of, especially on the social media, there's a lot more avenues to like get information from different places about these things, and I feel like parents can just like be like, oh, I read this on like wherever, I think I should take my child to the doctor because I think they have ADD. Like they start to like diagnose them themselves and like, oh, I see the doctor, just get them medicated. So yeah, I do think that is a big factor.